All right, what's up, guys? This is episode 11 of my journey to profitability, trading order flow with ES Futures. If you watched the last one, you know that Monday we started off with a reset at 150K. We had a free reset from Top Step, and Monday we had a terrible day. I will explain why in a second. Tuesday, which is today, we didn't take any entries. We traded in like a 10-point range for over an hour today. So I walked away by 9:30 in the morning. If you're on East Coast, that would be 10:30 for you. But yeah, let me explain to you guys what happened. Ignore these dashed lines. These are from Monday's price action. Let me walk you through what we were looking for before the session started on Monday. So let me get over to my notebook real quick and I'll pull up my plan. So what I've been doing is this week I've been writing my pre-market plan down and also journaling my thoughts as the session goes on. I feel like it just helps me if I need to go back and review something and review my thoughts process or something. It's just better for me to do that. But yeah, so wait, before we begin, I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to me on YouTube, and thank you to the traders who have reached out to me on Instagram. I'm happy to connect with you guys. I know a couple of us have been chatting like every day after session, which is really cool, and learning from each other and bouncing ideas off each other. And I just want to say, if you guys want to chat about a session or something, hit me up on Instagram. My @ is cbracken. It's CBRACKM. I have my link in my bio. But yeah, so on to Monday. So Monday, what we wanted to see was price test the top of the range or the bottom of the range. So top of range, we had 5503 to 512. Bottom of the range, we had 481 to 470. So you can tell, or you can see these levels here on my red and my green lines. So today we migrated from the June contract to the September contract, and I think that kind of messed me up a little bit because this line right here, this was our level of 426 from the June contract, which was a key level on many occasions for us. And I actually did not have this level marked out for the Monday session. So just imagine this blue line isn't here. So anyway, what happens is this is pre-market. I'm on a 4-minute, so it doesn't show you the open, which would be right in here. I'll zoom in. It would be like right in this area. But anyway, so we open up, we sell off, and we bounce off of this 2.6 level, which I was not aware of. I should have migrated that level. I don't know why I didn't know that that was where we bounced from. And basically what happens is we come up into this 503 level, and I took not one short. I didn't take one short. I took 1, 2, 3, 4 shorts at this level, and I'm gonna show you guys my live recording right now. So let me take this to when we test that, and I will show you guys my thought process. So this isn't it, but this is where we tested the 2.6 level, or that previous 2.6 level. And what's interesting here is you have a CVD divergence. As you can see, price is making a lower low right here, and compared to this low right here, there's more buying volume in the market at this point. So that could have been a potential long signal. And if I'm not mistaken, VIX was at minus 1.5% around this time. So that could have been a long signal right there. Didn't take it long because it wasn't in my plan. So that's one thing, but here we go. So price comes up into this level, and what I see here, first of all, I entered this trade a little bit prematurely. I will admit that. But I see some offers appear here, and if you watch the time of sales, you will see all these large orders hitting the bid. So this was worth a shot short for me personally. And as you can tell on the bottom middle, I am short 4 contracts right here, and my stop is at, I believe, 502. It must be a 503. My stop's at 503. And yeah, so my entry 5,575, stops at 503. That is a 2.25 risk. So very small risk, and we are targeting what were we targeting? So we were going to take 50% at around 10 to 15 points. And then our next target would have been the session lows that I had in my pre-market plan. So anyway, we're in short, still getting some nice orders, hitting the time of sales, and we're up a little bit. And I moved my stop to break even right here. Whenever we were down here, you can't see it, but so stops at break even, and you can see a stop out right there. So that was the first entry. It was a break even trade, about $50 profit. And now you will see me re-enter, which this is my main problem in trading. If anyone has been following along with my journey, you know my main problem is re-entering too quick. Now the first one, so we get stopped out at 9:32 and 41. We enter at 9:34. So that's less than 2 minutes, and we are right back in the trade. So let me show you guys this. Same exact trade thesis. And the reason why I jumped in so quick on this one was because of these offers here, up here, and we're still getting some selling on the time of sales. So let me just show you what happens here. My stop, I believe, was at 502, if I'm not mistaken. Stop was at 502. So I'm gonna touch on my mistakes after I show you all of my entries. So that was the second one. We got stopped at 502, right? We stopped out at 9:39 on the second entry. Third entry, we are in it in less than 2 minutes after stopping out with the same thesis. Now let's see if there are anything, see if we can identify anything that tells us to re-enter so quickly. I'm stopped out, and I guarantee you I enter here because we get this. It's not like we're seeing the craziest time of sales or any crazy offers really appear here. I'm strictly entering this trade because I'm seeing price move down, and now I'm afraid that the move will happen without me. So entering in less than 2 minutes time, and then you can see what happens. I get stopped out immediately, and I get stopped out at in 3 minutes, 9:43, and my stop was at 502.25, so just above 502. And then once again, I re-enter in less than a minute on the same exact trade. So we're stopped out, and so this time we're re-entering because we're seeing these offers and price. That's literally what it is. So we're re-entering because we're still seeing time of sales hit a little bit, and we're seeing offers appear. What I didn't see was 5,500 getting some absorption happening right here, which was not there whenever we were first moving down. So now we come back up above it. We get above 5,500. We got some absorption from that last little time spent in that area, and then we get some more right there. And so let me just say this: VIX was at minus 1.5 points, and not to mention at its all-time lows. So taking shorts when VIX is at its all-time lows, and then on top of that down 1.5% on the day, taking shorts is pretty much going against the momentum. And whenever VIX is down like that, it puts a lot less pressure on ES, and basically dips will get bought up way easier. So we shouldn't have been short here, and I believe this is my last one, but let me just make sure. So yeah, we can see we in and out of profit, and then we get stopped out of the last one at 956. So let me say this real quick. Obviously a terrible day, and then we even take another trade later on that was not recorded, which is straight up like revenge trading right here. But let me touch on these first 4 entries real quick. I don't know if you noticed, but my stop on the first one was at a genuine point of invalidation, which was 55.03. And I moved my stop to break even too early on this trade. We weren't even up. Yeah, so we weren't even up 6 points, and I already had my stop at break even. So that is pretty much going against my rules, because my rules says I don't move my stop to break even until 7 points in profit. So that's one time I break my rule today. Now, we did go in profit, which was, we had our hopes up because of that. So, I mean, the bright side is I didn't lose money, but this is the thing. For all of my the following 3 entries in this area right here, my stop loss was at 502.25 and around, let's see, 502, 502.25, 503. So the last one was at a point of invalidation. But this is the thing. If I would have just not moved my stop loss to break even too early, I could have basically saved myself from the extra 3 entries that I took on this area right here, because I would have never got stopped out until we actually hit 503, which would have been all the way over here about 45 minutes later. And at that point I would have said, oh, we haven't sold off in 35 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever it was. This is not gonna happen. Like I would have known, and I should have known after all those other entries. But like, I was just a little, I don't know what to call it. I was straight up chasing a short move. So one, if my stop never got moved to break even too early, and I would have kept my stop at a point of invalidation, I could have avoided 3 extra entries on this trade, and I could have basically only had a loss of, like, we'll call it 2.25 points instead of however many I lost. So that was one mistake. And then let's say whatever, I did stop out for break even, whatever. On the next 3 entries, I didn't put my stop at the point of invalidation, which was 55.03. As you can see on this one, I put it at 55.02, which was not a point of invalidation. So there's 500 down the drain. Next one, 55.02.25, not a point of invalidation. Another 600 down the drain. Could have saved $1,100 so far. This one was at a point of invalidation, so I'll call this, it's a bad trade. I should not have entered it because of everything that happened before this, but at least my stop was at 55.03 for this one. This is just me being like way too stingy with my stop. I'm like, I probably put it like, this is 55.03, my first entry, and then I probably put it right above this high, or this, whatever you want to call it, the most recent high. And then we kept touching it basically. But so that's my fault. I should have avoided all those extra entries in the first place. But had I followed my rule of 7 point to break even stop loss, I would have avoided an extra $1,100 of drawdown. So that is our first 4 entries. Now we got to talk about this entry, which has so many problems with it. But let me walk you through this one, because so those first 4 were right in here. This whole area is where our first 4 was. Our next one is we start to consolidate around 10-18, I guess, or something around there, 10-15. We start consolidating, and I'm thinking, oh, so obviously I have my level here, so I'm thinking there's another possibility that we get a nice sell-off. VIX is still at -1% and still at all-time lows, mind you. So shorts in general are not high probability on this day. So I don't have this trade on screen recording, but I do know that it was past 10, so I should have walked away because I never trade past 10. And it's funny because on Friday, whenever I was trading with a faulty mindset, knowing that I had the reset and whatnot, I took some trades past 10 a.m. too. And I don't know, this entry should have been completely avoided as well. But as you can see, we entered a short at 512. I'm thinking that there's a chance we get a sell-off here. We're at the top of range. And I don't know, but my stop loss was at 515, I believe. So we're risking 3 points. And we're just too in love with, like, we want to see the market sell off. And this is just like, it's funny how on Friday we were trading with the same mindset, like we wanted to see the sell off so bad. It kind of like consumed our ability to like read the market for what it was really telling us. We were kind of ignoring context, just like we were on Monday. And although we did trade we traded with our plan, we didn't trade with our rules, and that is what brought us to this P&L. So whenever you trade, or I should say, so on 4 contracts, a 4-point risk is $800. My max loss per day is my max risk per day is 3 4-point losses. So we actually were just under that on the day. So it's not the worst day, but like I said, we could have avoided $1,100 worth of mistakes here. We could have possibly avoided this one too had we not moved our stop. And we should have avoided this one by just walking away after our first 4 shorts didn't work, plus VIX being where it was. But yeah, so that's basically been our Monday. And now our balance is about 147,700. So we are down like $2,200 on our account. Like, we should have got long. We should have seen this. We should have had this level here, and we should have potentially got long after seeing all those red flags that we saw on Monday. But that's just a human error that I need to work on, is being really strict and following my rules to a T, and only executing on my strategy, my rules. I mean, we did trade with our plan and with our strategy today, but we fully failed to invalidate our thesis, which is our second costliest mistake in trading. Market's not open tomorrow, so hope everyone has a good Wednesday, and I will see you guys after our Thursday session.